with Scott, and please meet me outside.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your tour.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming. Enjoy your tour.
Amish kitties. That's a different kitty.
There's a little calico there.
There's so many kitties.
Hey, kitty, kitty. Yes, Buzz Buzz. Ooh.
Welcome everyone. My name is Samuel. I'll be your tour guide for the day. Before we get too far into it, I see a couple cameras out. I will say you are allowed to take pictures of whatever you see. We just ask that you do not take pictures of the Amish staff that's working. They ask not to have pictures. Before we get too far into it, I also want to talk a little bit of history, background to the Amish, kind of set like a foundation. The Amish originated from a group called the Anabaptists that started back in the 1500s, early 1500s, during the Reformation. At this point, the Catholic Church was splitting into different denominations, and one of the denominations split off the Catholic Church was the Anabaptists. Anabaptist simply means rebaptizers. They believed after reading the Bible that there was a call for an adult baptism on one's own confession of faith in Christ and for the congregation. Because of this, again, adult baptisms, they were all at that point baptized as children in the Catholic Church, so there would have been a rebaptism, hence their name. One of the other beliefs that caused a lot of turmoil was when they read the Bible, they read verses that talked about love your neighbor as yourself and love your enemy and pray for those that persecute you. Because of this, they felt that the Bible was a book of peace and love and finding peaceful solutions to problems. Because of this, they took up a path of pacifism, non-resistance, and also because of this, the churches that they were in the States, the governments put heavy pressure on them and persecuted them, which in the area of Germany, Switzerland, whichever church was prominent in that area, or whichever state government was prominent in that area, in Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands, and eastern France. Now, a man by the name of Menno Simons, hence the name Mennonites, was one of the few Anabaptist leaders who was able to survive persecution for a while and was able to have his name put to something. About 1690, a man by the name of Jacob Ammon, who was a Mennonite originally, felt the Mennonites weren't strict enough in how they applied scripture to everyday life. In instances, for instance, shunning and dress code. Because of this, there was a split within the Mennonite church and the Amish and the Mennonites formed. That's how the Amish formed. 1700s, a man by the name of William Penn sympathized with their plight with the Mennonites and Amish and offered them shelter in the United States in what is now Pennsylvania. That is how the community in Lancaster got started, that area. And from there on, the Amish and the Mennonites spread out. And that's how we have much of the communities around the United States that we have. I hope that answered a little bit of questions. Set kind of a groundwork, a foundation to move off of. I will also say one question I get a lot is how can you tell a Mennonite and an Amish person apart? The core beliefs, again, because of the shared background and history, means that their core beliefs are almost identical, very, very similar. However, it's the interpretation of Scripture and then the application of that interpretation to everyday life that is the difference. For instance, you will not see an Amish person drive a car, ever. You might see a person who looks like it. That would be a very, very conservative Mennonite man or woman. Before we get too far into the tour, I do want to point out two things. The first is that gray wagon over there. That is called a bench wagon. Amish families do not have to go to church at a church building or cathedral or anything like that. They have house churches. They will have church in their homes. They will rotate between different churches, or between different homes each week, depending. That wagon will have the benches that they store or that they have for church. They will be benchless wooden backless wooden benches. There we go. That I found it. Backless wooden benches with legs that fold up underneath. So they're easy to slide in and store in that wagon. The front compartment would have songbooks, hymn books, whatever you would need for church would be stored in that compartment as well. Second thing I want to point out is at the top of the hill, if you look up there, that white fence, that is an Amish graveyard. Now the state of Ohio does mandate that when a body is buried, it must be embalmed, so they will give the body to an undertaker to embalm, and After that, the Amish family will take it from there. They will put the loved one in an Amish-made wooden casket, lower it down into a rough solid wooden box, put rough solid wooden planks on top, and the immediate family generally will not leave until the last shovel dirt is put on top as a sign of respect, show of respect. Now, if you'll follow me, we'll head up this hill to about where that bell is, out into the grass behind the house. Now, I've had people from different places in the United States. I'm kind of curious where you're all from, if that's okay.
Northeast Ohio in the country.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Wonderful.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to have you all here. Now, the garden you see that we are approaching, that is the smaller of two gardens that would be on the Amish property. This garden would be called the spring garden. It would have early fruits and vegetables that would be used for cooking, and maybe some flowers. There would be a larger garden that would be a summer garden that you'd find farther away from the house that would have enough fruits and vegetables in it for canning and preserved for later on in the year. It's time for dinner, right? I'm getting a little hungry. That's the dinner bell. It is a way to let the guys know when they're on the farm working anywhere from a half a mile to a mile away that it's time for dinner. It's also used for emergencies. House caught on fire, barn caught on fire, somebody broke a leg, you bring that pretty hard. Nowadays, I've only seen them in small schoolhouses. I used to call the kids in the Now, the house here was built by a man by the name of Johannes Hostetler. In German, that simply means John. It was built back in 1866 and is a part of a 116-acre property that is now owned by Eli and Gloria Yoder. They live up the hill. The farm is still a working farm and usable farm. However, the house being built back in 1866 means that there's no running water, no plumbing, which means that building over there is the necessary outhouse.
Nope.
And I'm sure it'd get quite cold in the wintertime. Yeah. Oh, you don't want it too close, it'd smell. If you look on the wall, kind of on the porch here, you'll see two galvanized steel tubs. That was for your once a week Saturday night bath. You know, 30 first, 30 last. And the person going and getting the water would be you, young sir, right there. You'd be going up the hill to the spring to go get it. You don't sound too excited, do you? If you look on the fence post, there's one thing that I was kind of curious about when I first got here, were the jars.
Sorry.
I was kind of interested. It didn't make sense to me. Well, see, after they wash the jars, they'll set them upside down fence post to dry. And what will happen is, if you see the scorch marks on the fence post, the sun's light, when the sun is actually shining here, will be so intense that it will burn the wood and will actually sterilize the glass jars as well.
That's really cool.
Now, if you'll follow me in the house, feel free to ask questions. I'll do my best to answer them.
Or the farm's sterilizing.
Interesting.
You can leave it over, close, it's your call. Welcome to the interior. We are currently in the kitchen. Again, this house was built back in 1866. Because of that, there is no central heat. The two sources of heat would be this wood burning stove right here, and there's a similar one in the room next door. We will look at that when we go into that room a little later. As you can see with the wood burning stove, there would be a firebox that would be here, ash bin down below, oven next to it, stovetop, and when I asked the little ones what they think this is, oftentimes they will say microwave. It is not the microwave. It is a warming box. When the food's made and prepared, however, not everybody's ready for supper, you'd stick it in here. The heat rising off the stove would keep this box warm and would keep the food warm until it's ready to be served. Now, the table, the kind of counter back there that you are by, sir, that is what's called a dry sink. There's no running water. So what happened is when to wash dishes, you'd you'd heat water on the stove or behind the stove. You'd pour it into the dry sink there. When you're done, you'd let the washing your dishes. You'd let the water drain out through the center drain into a bucket down below or container down below. And when you're ready, you pitch it. Notice also there is not a lot of cupboards or shelves to store things. Where the food will be kept is in the room back there. That is the pantry. You keep the flour, the grain, the bread, the cheese. And you keep it back there. Excuse me. You two know what that barrel is that's sitting kind of over there? It's sitting on the side, the thing that looks like a barrel on the side. So you want to take a guess?
What's he doing?
Have a lid on the top.
Here's your hint. Same thing as this.
What's it, butter?
It's a butter churn.
Oh.
That is a large butter churn. It would probably be a Saturday job because it is such a large container and it would take a long time to crank the butter out. 45 minutes to an hour, I've been told.
Oh, jeez.
And it would take a lot of endurance and muscle to do that. The more famous kind of butter churn right here is the smaller one with the hand crank. If you look around also behind that door, I don't know if you all can see it, there's a cupboard that is called a pie safe. Now, the doors oftentimes you leave open for ventilation, air, you know, the windows you leave open to help cool it down. There's no screen anywhere. So, you know, if you leave your pies out, I like myself a good tree fly pie, but I don't like my flies in my pie. So you put the pie in the pie safe. It also keeps prying fingers away, which would most likely be Before we go too much farther, I also want to talk about something called borders. I don't know if you've heard about this. Amish have different kinds of borders. Now, when I say that, I mean conservative and liberal. Just like any congregation or even people have are more conservative and more liberal, the Amish are no different. When I say orders, there are conservative orders and there are liberal orders. Different viewpoints on how to live your lives. That oftentimes will vary and create a lot of varying options when it comes to what a house might look like. And when it comes to this house, this is an old house, but even some of the more very, very, very conservative Amish families might have a house with a similar layout, but it would be newer. The house would look nicer, look newer. The majority of the Amish would not have a house that would look like this, though. We'll see that, what a house would look like when we go into the next house. I will also say there are 2 bedrooms above us, strategically placed above the wood fire stoves. They're the sources of heat, so you'd want them in your bedrooms so you can stay warm. Any questions? If not, we'll move into the living room.
What's this little thing?
That is an old style apple peeler. That's an apple peeler. Excuse me. That on by. We got plenty of room. We can squeeze everybody in here. Well, I'll start talking. I don't know if everybody's in here or not, but I first want to point out the sewing machine. Every Amish home will have a sewing machine because I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing about 9?
10.
10? Okay, you'd start learning how to sew right about now. The girls at about ages from 10 to 13 will learn how to sew because they'll start making their own clothes and their own dresses. That's kind of one of their responsibilities, one of the many that they'll have. However, boys will be in charge of that box, and that is the wood box. You'd be going splitting wood, carrying in wood, so that way, you know, your 2 sources of heat would be the stoves. You want to make sure they're running in the winter and stay warm. Now, like I said, there are conservative and liberal orders, and it varies. There are 9 different orders that I know of. There could be more. There could be more. Right now, that sewing machine you see is a treadle machine. It's foot powered. A lot of the conservative Amish will stick with that. Some of the more liberal might have a car battery hooked up to it as a source of power. So there's the variance. Now, when I talked about cameras, this is kind of what relates to. If you look at this doll, it has no face. This is based off one of the 10 Commandments that says, "Thou shalt not have any graven images." The Amish feel that having a face on the doll is a form of a graven image. That is also why they do not like having pictures taken of themselves. However, nowadays has changed a little bit. The more conservative will still hold with that no facing the doll. However, some of the more liberal, the newer orders, might allow Barbie.
So does that mean the Amish are following the Old Testament?
Hmm?
Does that mean the Amish are following the Old Testament with the commandments?
They're following the old and the new.
Oh.
The new is the guideline. However, they still look to the old, just as Mennonites do. The newest priority, or the new is what we look to. However, the old is still applicable in some sense in cases. Now, if you look behind the sewing machine where you were standing, there's a wicker basket, and there's another basket over here. There's balls of cloth. Now, when clothes get old and worn, instead of just pitching them, what they'll do is they'll take them, tear them into strips, sew those strips together, and roll them into a ball. They'll take those rag balls to a loom and have it formed into a carpet. Now, the carpets you see are not the style of carpets that would be made with rags. You'll see them in the next house when we get there, we'll point them out. But still a way not to waste. Also, if you look in this corner, the pirate ship steering wheel kind of thing. When I was little, I'd play with my mom's, and she would spank the crud out of me. It is a yarn spinner, and it's a way to measure and organize yarn. And you basically wrap the yarn around the handle on the outside, and you spin it until, after so many revolutions, there's a little mechanism in the box in the back. It's called a weasel. And the weasel will make a popping sound and letting the lady know how much yarn has been spun based on the revolutions. It's also how the little nursery rhyme Pop Goes the Weasel got started.
Oh. Interesting.
Now, the parents will generally stay on the first floor, sleep on the first floor, so this is the master bedroom. The kids will be upstairs. When John built this house, he, I believe, had either 8 or 11 kids. The boys would get one room, the girls would get another. You're free to look in there. I will say, for safety reasons, I don't think any of you will do this, but there has been a person that sat on the bed and broken it. So I ask you not to sit on the bed. When you guys are ready, you're free to look around. When you're ready, I'll meet you on the back porch.
So is the upstairs closed off?
Upstairs and basement are closed off, yes. I haven't actually been up there either myself.
Huge.
It's crazy.
It's tiny.
They never got around to plastering that.
It's really cool. I like the walls.
Oh, are they short? They're going to skirt? No, it's a pelican. I don't know what that is.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. I'll have to ask you. I don't think they wear skirts. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow, listen to this place creak.
I believe so, yes.
Go for it.
The lowest is the basement. You'll see it when we go down the stairs and go to the next house. The basement would be for storage of goods, canning, converting food, things like that. The butter would also be stored down there as well, because it's lower floor. There also makes a summertime kitchen. So with the wood burning stove, you can put it there. There's also a nameplate on the wall, and you'll see as we go by, Johannes Hostetler put his name on the house. I do also want to talk about educational system that kids would go through. And you two might like this part. Guess what grade you have to go to if you're a Amish boy or girl?
8th.
Correct. You only have to go through 8th grade. Good job. Yeah. But by 3rd or 4th grade, you will be trilingual. They will know 3 languages. They will know, they'll learn off knowing their Pennsylvania Deutsch, which is their native tongue, a dialect of Low German from southern Germany. They'll start in the English school system, so they'll speak English, read, write as well. English. By 3rd or 4th grade, they'll also learn High German, which is their entire church service is done in High German. Now, I'm going to ask you to take either stairs. It's your choice. I'll meet you down on the porch down below. Just say a quick few things, and we'll go into the next house.
You were raised Amish?
I was not raised Amish. I was raised Mennonite.
Oh, okay.
My parents were Mennonite as well, and my grandparents. However, my parents grew up in Amish in this area. I live in this area as well. And I did not originally live here. I live in Sarasota, but I live 5 minutes from the Amish community.
Coming.
They're in the next room.
Oh, sorry.
They've left us.
Sorry, we missed.
That's not a problem.
Oh, sorry. We missed which door you went in.
Where'd it go?
Pay attention,
Well, welcome to the living room. A few things I want to talk about. I noticed you guys looked at the bathroom. The bathroom was built a later date. This house was built in 1886, 20 years after. It was built by one of John's sons. He sold the farm to a reasonable price to one of his sons. In a situation like this where there's 2 houses on the property then, the old house would become known as the Dottie house, or the grandfather house. It would be the place where kind of like a built-in nursing home. The parents would live up there, the kids would live down here with their children. And if they grandparents ever needed anything, they're right next door so they can get it from their kids. Yeah. Now, not all kids can live on the farm, so they would go elsewhere as well. Again, this was built at a later date, so the bathroom was added on later. So there is running water in the house as well. Now, there are 3 types of light sources I want to talk to you about. One you see in the back corner there, one that's turned on at the moment behind you, youngster, and then one on the table here with all the books. The kerosene oil lamp, that is an older style of lamp, and it's the one I want to talk about first. It would, if it is still in use, it would be by the most conservative Amish as well. Generally, though, I believe it's from days gone by. I have personally used one when electricity got out. My mom collects antiques, so that would be a good source. It's still a good source of light. The more common would be that lamp right there. That is gas lamp, and it works kind of like how if you guys have gone camping, Coleman gas lamp. It works the same principle. There's a tank of propane down in the magazine rack. Now, the newer orders of Amish, the ones, they have something that works a little like this. It's got a car battery. Now, if it's got a car battery, I can guarantee you there's a generator behind the house to charge it on. Some Amish are even getting into solar paneling as well.
Yeah, we saw that on the way up.
Yeah. You will occasionally see that. Businesses will run solar paneling.
That's a great idea.
Now, I also want to talk quick in here about church. I mentioned earlier with the bench wagon, they would have church in their homes. They have church every other Sunday. Now, because you have church every other Sunday does not mean that they won't go to church every Sunday. They can go visit other churches in the name if they want. However, their own church would have church every other Sunday. It would be when it's their turn. They'd go get the wagon from the previous house. There are 25 to 35 families per church. So that means you probably only have to have church at your house once a year. And when they go get it, they would go get the pews, bring them in. They'd clear out the living room if it was in the living room. It could also happen in the shop or the barn. But if it was in the living room like this, they'd clear out all the furniture, set the benches up in nice, even rows, and the men would sit on one side with the boys, and the girls would sit on the other with the ladies. Husbands and wives do not sit together. Except for the wee ones that are about 10 years and younger, so that way they can stay with their parents if they need to. Parents can keep an eye. Now, I told you the service is done in all High German. The services are fairly long as well. About 8:30, 9 o'clock it'll start and go till lunch, so about 3 hours. The first hour will be for hymn singing from this book called the Ausbund. Notice it is all in High German. There is no line music. There is no instruments that will accompany it. The tunes have been passed down through generation. It's tradition. Some of these songs have up to 30 verses to them, and the way they sing it is slow and smooth. So it could take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to sing one song. Now, the next 2 hours are devoted to sermons by 2 of the 4 pastors. Now, there's a bishop, a deacon, and 2 ministers. that are a part of the church. These ministers are decided upon by law, based off in Acts 1 where it talks about after Jesus hung himself, they chose the next apostle by law. If you guys remember that story. If not, what happens is, it happens a similar way. What will happen is they'll have a vote to narrow down the possible candidates for being a part or being a minister. Those candidates will leave the room. The current ministers will go and take the same amount of Bibles as there are people that are being selected, put a piece of paper with a verse on it in one of the Bibles, and then mix the Bibles up so nobody knows which one has that. They'll bring the men back in. The men will one by one go up and pick one. And then whoever has it with the little piece of paper with the verse will become the next minister. And is a minister position for life. It's kind of a way to let the Holy Spirit decide.
That's interesting.
Again, the sermon will be done in High German, and there's a Bible here that is all in High German. It's a King James version. Now, churches are based upon order, but they're also based upon geographical locations. They're also known as districts. As you can see, this book, which is called the Ohio Amish Directory, shows a map of a district. And this would have the 25 to 35 families that are here. This book is kind of like a census book. It's recorded every 5 years and has the list of every single Amish family in the state of Ohio. You can see the map with the locations of all the families. Here has the name of the head of the house, along with the spouse, their children, their spouses if they have them, the job title, like what job they have, and where they live.
How often is that book put out?
We said every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Every
Okay.
5 years. And the
Wow.
information is collected by the Amish, and they take it to a printer to print it. There are a few more things I want to talk about in this room. Again, the bathroom is at a later date. The master bedroom is back there behind the curtains with a diaper box on the bed and a hat box on the wall. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of use Facebook quite a bit. So here, this is called the budget. I've heard it similar. It's been given the nickname the Amish Facebook. Basically, it has stories that have been written in from all over the country, and there's stories such as so and so got married, somebody just put up a new barn, so and so got a job, there's a new, or so on and so forth. I believe one of the tour guides at one point tried counting the budget, how many stories were in the budget. But last time I heard, she got to about page 10 or so, and there's about 80 stories. Wow. So it's kind of like the Amish Facebook.
Nice.
If you want to look at it, there's copies in the gift shop. Now, you're free to look around. We are a little limited on time, but feel free to still look around, explore a little bit. When you're ready, I'll be in the kitchen where all the good smelling stuff is from.
All right.
This is fascinating.
It lights everything up. It's a bright light.
What? Oh, that one? Oh, yeah. This is amazing.
The master suite, look.
Yeah, it is.
It's a master suite. You got their own private entrance to the bathroom there. This room's very bright.
It is. It's really pretty.
You know, one thing I forgot, I was here so late now, I'm just going
Yeah.
Oh, baby. That's awesome.
I was laughing, and then I come out, the girls are chuckling.
You know, because what is the thing? That's pretty funny.
I believe that's everyone, or is
We
there
have
still
two
some?
more.
2 more?
Hmm?
Okay. 2 more. I do want to say a few things about the kitchen. Again, this is about an average style home for an Amish family. It's fairly nice size. And this is an average size kitchen for an Amish family as well. Again, though, depending on what the bishop says and what order you are depends on what you might see in a kitchen like this. Anywhere from a gas-powered refrigerator to just cold running water sink. Could vary quite a bit. Now, Leah is the cook for the day.
Hi.
Hi, Leah.
She is making, I believe, peanut butter?
Buttermilk
I know, it's buttermilk.
and caramel icing for the buttermilk cookies. There's some over there on the tray. Chocolate.
And these goodies will be ready you can get at the end of the tour when we go through the bakery. However, yeah, this is the hardest part of the tour for me. I do also want to say, one of the things I really want to talk about in this kitchen is the dining table that you see here. This is an average size table for a family of 6 to 8 kids, which is an average size family. The kids would sit on benches on the side with the parents sitting at the heads of the table at the ends. However, the one thing that I feel is really important is that there's a grace at the beginning of the meal and a grace at the end of the meal. The reason I say this is important because unless there's an emergency or something very, very important, no one's allowed to leave the table till the second grace is said. Because it's a time of family, it's a time of bonding, it's a time of getting to know what's good to happen, what's bad, how'd your day go, did you talk to the neighbors, what did they say? It's a time of community.
I like that.
I personally just feel that's important, but that's me. And that
I
is,
like it.
that's a portable gas lamp. You can take it from room to room.
That was amazing.
Where's this stored?
Down here.
Nice.
Right here.
That's, oh, I thought that was,
Send her up.
I thought the lamp flipped over in my head.
Yeah, maybe
No.
pump it up and the gas will run.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I pretty much want to talk about in the kitchen. And kind of give you a little taste bud tantalizing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say this cookbook, which has all these recipes, but what I want to talk about also is there's recipes in there that will feed up to 100, 150 people.
Wow.
Which may seem like a lot, but it'll make sense when I get upstairs and tell you a little bit more. So I just want to tell you a little bit about this. Now, if you'll follow me up the stairs. Excuse me. Careful with his feet, and if you need to, I recommend you grab the handrail. Feel free to move in. I fit more than just the amount we have in here. I've got squeezed 20 in here. There are 30 others, so those can Yeah, feel free to squeeze. We've got plenty of room.
There's that lamp again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this would probably be a guest bedroom, my guess would be. I'm not 100% sure on this room. The other rooms I can tell you, but this one I'm not sure about. I will say oftentimes Amish are live very simple lives, plain. However, when it comes to their quilts, man, do they shine. There's a different quilt on each of the beds in all the rooms, and they're all very beautiful. Now, I told you about the hat box, the wooden hat box in the bedroom. This is the hat that would be going into it, be put into it. This is the nice Sunday you go to church hat. This is the one that you'd wear. It is a very nice felt hat. I do believe it costs around $100. So you would want to make sure this stays nice. During the week, a man might wear a straw hat. So definitely something different than your Sunday going to church felt hat. Now this jacket, it's called a mutza. This is the jacket vest combo that a man would wear when he's going to church. Notice that there are no pockets on the outside. There are pockets on the inside, but not on the outside. It also has hooks and eyes, not buttons. This relates back to when I told you about pacifism, persecution, when I talked about those two things. Well, the people that are coming after them during persecution were soldiers. And soldiers had the big brass buttons down the center of their shirt, or the jackets, the big old pockets, the big old Prussian mustaches at that time, you know, the curly ones. And they had the big old brass belt buckles. And this you'll see will affect how the Amish will dress. When it comes to this, you will notice no buttons. The pockets are not on the outside, and you generally won't see buttons on the coats that men will wear, especially on Sunday clothes. You also will not see Amish men with a belt on. The buckle is associated with the military. It also, if depending on what it looks like, could be considered jewelry. I mean, there's those buckles that look like diamond studded and what else. Because of that, they often will wear suspenders instead. Now, I've seen guys not wear suspenders, but they're hiking up their pants a lot. Or they're pretty tight pants. Now, what's missing on the front of these? You two know what's missing on the front of the pants?
The zipper.
Yeah, the zipper. The way it works, instead, these are called broadfall pants. Because you notice there's little buttons towards the top here, barely noticeable kind of thing. They hold up the barn door. The barn door will fall down when you need it. Notice there are also no hip pockets, no front pockets, except for two that are hidden underneath the broadfall flap. And they're very large and deep pockets. There's also a small little pocket for a pocket watch. This is one of the reasons why the dinner bell is not needed anymore on the farm, because the men have a way to keep track of time. They won't have a wristwatch because that's a form of jewelry, but they'll have a pocket watch. You will also not see an Amishman ever with a big old mustache. That's also kind of the Prussian mustache. It's related. You'll see Amishmen with the beards, but they won't have the mustache. Now, a lady, when going to church, would wear something that looks like this. Simple, elegant. It's a long sleeve, dark dress with a white cape and a white apron. The white apron is significant because it means that she has become a baptized member of the church. She has committed herself to Christ in front of the congregation. And a girl who has not been baptized would have an apron that is the same color as her dress. And I'll show you an example in the other room. But here's kind of like the cape matching, or the apron matching the dress. Now you'll notice there are no zippers, no buttons, no clasps, no hooks and eyes. It's held together with straight pins. If you look, you can see straight pins.
Don't they get poked?
I'm guessing when they first learn how, but they will, ladies who wear straight pins, I've been told, can get into these clothes just as fast as we can get in our clothes. They have that much practice. Now, not all women wear the dress, like the actual dress, with straight pins. Leah downstairs has clasps on the shoulders of her dress. However, when she's going to church, she will wear the cape and apron with the pins. And you can see a little better example of the straight pins with the cape removed. And that's one style of dress. Now, everyday wear would consist of the cape and the apron matching the dress color. Again, this would be a plain, solid color, no patterns, no prints. It could be short sleeve, it could be long sleeve, depending on her choice. Also, depends on the order, depends on whether it's dark colors will be, what the colors will be oftentimes. The more conservative will mean the darker the colors, darker shades, not the bright, light colors. And they'll oftentimes be closer to earthy colors, browns, greens, blues, blacks. The newer orders, especially with the girls, will have a little bit more freedom. They might be a little brighter colors, might be lighter colors. The girls definitely will get a chance to wear pinks and purples and other colors and yellows. And you'll see that, and I'll show you a few examples in the next room. Now this is called a fur covering. I'm sure you've already seen this. I mean, Leah downstairs had one on. This is also known in German as a cap, K-A-P-P. It makes reference to 1 Corinthians 11, where it talks about a woman should have her head covered when she prays. So because of that, when a lady wakes up or a girl wakes up in the morning, she'll put her hair in a bun, she'll put this on, and she will not take this off for the entire day until she goes to bed. Now, this is a bonnet, and some of the little kids, when they come through, get these confused quite often. But it's merely a modesty covering. Depending on the order, will depend on when she wears it. It could be as soon as she steps outside the house. It could be only on Sundays when she's going to church. Again, it is also a modesty covering, so just because she doesn't have to wear it, she still might want to wear it. It's her call. Any questions? If not, I'll take you into the girls' room, the purple room on the left, and I'll talk a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, when she is going to be baptized, and mind you, baptism happens about the age of 16 to 20, depending on her choice. And the boys will also make a choice on when they get baptized. They'll be about the same age. They'll have a few classes with the ministers to know understand what the commitment they're making. But when the girl goes up to get baptized, she will wear a long sleeve black dress with a white cape and a white apron. The white apron signifies she is now becoming a member of the church. She will also, she and the guy, boy or girl, when they go up to get baptized, they'll be baptized by sprinkling or pouring, not by immersion. Now, once you get baptized, you now officially can get married as well. You have to be baptized before you can get married. This would be the wedding dress that the lady would have. Now, I've seen a couple people scoff at this. Looks fairly plain, boring. However, the simple rules are it must be a dark navy blue long sleeve dress with a white cape and a white apron. On top of that, it costs about as much as it costs to get the fabric, because the bride can choose what fabric she wants. She will be making her own dresses. She can choose the fabric and to make it. Outside of the time and effort and the price of the fabric, that's about as much as it costs. On top of that, you'll notice it's the same style of dress as all the other dresses she has. So she can wear it again. She can wear it multiple times. It's not a one deal and done. Kind of like a lot of modern wedding dresses that cost $2,000 to $5,000. I don't know how much. Yeah, and it's a one shot and done. This dress can be worn again and again. Now, remember I was talking about the food down there, how 100, 150 per meal? Amish weddings are quite large. Do you guys want to take a guess on how large an Amish wedding could be?
1,000 people.
A little lower than that.
500 people.
She hit about right in the middle. Anywhere from 400 to 800 people will show up to a wedding. You're close though. You're almost at the upper end. Yeah, Amish weddings get quite large, and so a recipe that covers 100, 150 people makes sense. They generally happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the day, and to also, they'll go get the bench wagons so they have enough seating for everyone. When a lady is unmarried, she'll going into church. On Sundays when she goes to church and she's unmarried, she'll wear a black hat. This is a sign that she is unmarried, and in a population where 80% stay in the church that they were born into, the person you're marrying is most likely a part of that community, so you'd recognize who's married and who's unmarried. Outside on the weekdays, she may wear white or black, and it's her call. The lady downstairs is unmarried, she chose to wear white today. Now, as soon as the service, which is about 3 hours long, as soon as first chance she gets to go inside and change her cap, she will. She'll change it to white. And she'll never wear the black again, because now she is married. And so, men, and we've got a tour right on our tail, men will start growing out the full beards once they get married as well. Now if you will follow me into the little boys' room.
Hey, our group is going to start right back here.
Now you can kind of see on the wall what a little guy in diapers would still wear when going to church with a white shirt. You can tell he's never trained based on the snaps on his pants. All men though will wear the white long sleeve shirts to church. As soon as he can though, as soon as he's diaper trained, he'll switch over to the broadfall pants, kind of like his dad. He wants to be like dad again. Wants to grow up to be like daddy. You can see two examples with the jeans that are on the bed, same layout. Hunting is also a big thing that connects connects the boys with dad, and it's also a great source of food. I mean, you hit 3 deer up, you're going to be eating well for a while. So that I've also seen little girls with their dads trying to spend time with dad. Like I said, family and community is a very, very big thing to the Amish. It's a very big thing. Now, there's also no TV, no computers. There's no TV, no computers. So their free time is either taken up by family, community, or by reading. They'll read a ton of books. The lady who runs the local bookmobile, which is kind of like a mobile library, won the award for most most deliver or rented out books in the state of Ohio because of this community.
Wow.
I bet.
They read a lot. They will also play board games, card games. They'll play sports such as volleyball, softball, and basketball. I've seen churches rent out entire buildings so that way they can have volleyball nights, 6 to 12 nets set up so all the kids can play.
That's cool.
The boys will also start wearing little black hats. They'll probably be straw though, just because they're growing, changing in size, and so the felt hat, they'll outgrow it too quick. Any questions? If not, we'll go to the little girls' room.
Yeah, it's a nice quilt.
They are beautiful sewers.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, you're learning at 10, 13, and you sew for the rest of your life.
It's a gorgeous.
Yeah.
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 So that's everyone. Welcome to the little girl's room. Notice on the dress back there, the girl has buttons going down the back. Now, I don't know about you, but I want a 5-year-old playing with straight pins. So the little girl growing up will learn will either have a pull-on dress like the one you see next to her with a little slip towards the top near the collarbones, or have buttons on the back of her dress. On Sundays, she'll have an example over there and a little one over here of having kind of like a pinfold apron. Down this way.
Woo.
I saw you looking at him.
No, she's still baking.
You can follow the room into the back bakery. I'll meet you back there in a second. Careful.
Oh, she frosted those. They do. They smell amazing. What?
Oh, here we go. This is
Oh!
so that it doesn't get all over the bag.
Yep.
Oh!
Welcome to the bakery. I will say I don't believe any of you have gone out to the barn tour yet.
Mm-mm.
That's included with the price for your house tour. Basically, if you take this door and follow the gravel pathway out where we exited the gift shop, don't go in the gift shop, but right there, there's a red barn that's behind the gift shop. If you go in there, there will be a person give you a tour. There's a new litter of puppies, a new litter of kittens, 2 baby horses, and 2 sheep that are expecting. I do want to make a shout out to one good in here. I don't know if you guys have seen this around. It's the Amish peanut butter spread. It's often found in the restaurants in the area. Its ingredients are peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, and maple flavored syrup mixed in, and it's really, really good bread. At least that's my opinion.
Candied peanut butter, it's amazing.
Yeah. I will say the prices for all the goods you can see around here, they were either made in-house or made by local Amish families. The prices, as you can see, are everywhere. We go by the honor system. We trust you guys. The cash register is right in front of you two on the table.
It's a box.
Awesome.
Yeah. The change is in there if you need to make change. Me in the kitchen would be more than happy to help you if you have bills that are too big. It's been a pleasure being your tour guide. I hope you've had
Thank
a
you, you
wonderful
did a
tour.
great job.
This has been
Thank you so much.
amazing. Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Yoder's Amish Farm. My name is Henry. I'll give you a tour of the barn. This barn was built in 1885. With root on the stone inside here.
Wow.
So, if you want to see the animals, you can come this way.
Oh.
Yes, these are called the standardbreds. They're ex-race horses. They were on a harness racing track. And after they retire from the racetrack, and then we buy them and use them for buggy horses. So that's where a lot of the buggy horses come from that you see out on the road pulling buggies. They were ex-race horses. And so we can still use them for, up to 10, 12 years after they get done racing. And they're already trained for the harness, and we have to, our buggies are heavier than the little carts that they run in, but that's usually not a problem to train them to pull these heavier buggies, so we're all right.
We're trying to achieve the same speeds either.
No, not really. No, not really. But there's guys out there that like a good fast horse, so yeah. So yeah. This colt is 2.5 weeks old.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have names. This one, we just got her in about a week ago or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what her name is. I have to ask my boss. He might know. Okay. In the back we have rabbits, pygmy goats, sheep. There's a litter of puppies, some kittens in the back, so you're welcome to come back here. You can hold them, look at them, play with them.
And where's the 4-week-old?
Right here, he's sleeping.
Sleeping? Oh no. Oh, passed out.
Over here we got dinner.
Oh, so cute.
The lawnmower, baby.
That's dinner right there.
No, lawnmower.
You like mutton?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're shy. Hi.
How long ago did they short?
Hi.
Just Thursday.
Thursday?
Just Thursday. They were just showing Thursday.
They're happy.
I have a
Feels
pair
better.
of wool mittens that I absolutely love. They're the greatest winter mittens ever. They stay dry and they keep you warm.
Really?
Yep.
Here's actually.
How does the wolf know?
Yeah.
Do you have a friend?
Oh yeah.
He don't fit in the car.
I got a jealous one coming
Oh,
over here.
hey.
We got a jealous one over here.
Hey.
What do you want?
I will eat what you have. Give me your cookies.
I don't really know.
No, you can't have me.
They run it over the net, gets everything in the same direction,
Oh, okay.
and they spin it together like this. and then
Excuse
they
me.
take 4 or 5 and spin those together.
Hi, excuse me.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Hi, excuse me.
I didn't know how. I didn't know how they do that.
You probably know how they share them, no?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I didn't
You're
do
on
the
the-
share,
you're-
remember
you're-
that? Somebody came right here to the barn. Yeah, somebody came right here to the barn and did it.
Aw, look at the dog.
Hold that. Got it. Hun,
You see the wool?
What do you have?
they shore
You,
the sheep
you
on,
sheep wool?
They shore the sheep on Thursday. That's the wool from the black sheep on the other end.
Oh, that's amazing.
And there's the white.
And then here's some white.
Ooh.
And that oily, that's the lanolin.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Yeah,
it.
they feel a little oily, don't
Yeah, that is awesome. It stuck to me too.
We will.
Look at them.
Sandy, hold it.
The one is trying to get out, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's trying to dig the
He's
tree.
big into something.
Hey, donkey. Hi.
Rose.
Hi.
Cows.
Hi. 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 You gonna eat me? Huh? Am I delicious? I'm delicious. I'm delicious.
4 weeks old today. 1 month old today.
Oh, he woke up.
Baby up?
He woke up.
Go.
Look at Mama's trying to protect him.
Hi, mama.
Hey, Mama. Nope.
Don't touch me.
These are not pets.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They're not really pets. They're working. You have a nest
What? Gonna swallow? Swallow?
right there.
Got him.
There's a nest
Got him.
in there. There's a nest up there.
Oh, there's a hayloft upstairs too. Of course,
Yeah,
there's a
hayloft
nest.
up there. But they're flying in and out of there. Just right in that corner there. They're flying in and out of there real fast.
Hey guys. Hi guys. Hi. Oh, I can pet you. Hi. No, I can't. You won't let me. Hi. You're big. Oh, goodness. Hi, pretty. Oh, pretty. Pretty. Well then. It doesn't say. Yes. Yeah. Hi, excuse me. Thank you. Hi. Hi. So pretty.
That's tough to shoot up there.
Oh, I bet.
The hayloft.
There was a meow that jumped in here.
Oh, there's meows everywhere.
Did a meow. Meow. I hear the kittens. This is one of the mamas. This one has kittens too. No? Oh. Hi. Hi, Mama. Hi.
Okay. Now sit kind of in the front, it will be okay.
Need these.
Oh, thanks. The blue one? I sometimes forget. No worries. Yeah, you can sit back all the way and
I need to hold that out the window.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Wow, you got some nice padding.
I know.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little wider than standing.
They're on?
Standing.
Yeah, strong.
Oh, okay. For a two-seater.
Oh, I'm doing the thing.
That's one reason to leave it a little wider. Sometimes two couples come and it flies kind of in there. Sure.
Yeah, to be able to slide together.
You're right, it's the same.
Aw.
You live in the Ohio?
Yeah, we live in Akron area.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Sandy and this is Dan.
Yeah.
Kevin and Cassandra.
Yeah. Also from the Akron area.
Yep.
Yes.
Maybe you're closely related. No.
Nope, we're
We're
friends.
good friends.
I'm originally from Montana,
Oh, yeah.
and then I moved here quite a few years ago.
I remember before today that a lady was born in Montana.
Yeah, it was way far away. It feels like a whole other planet.
Yeah, isn't there an Amish following
It's
community?
the Hooterites.
The Hooterites.
Well, there's also a community. Yeah,
That's a
community
Right.
in Montana. Maybe even a couple of them. I've never been there myself.
It's beautiful. Very wide open, a lot of mountains,
Oh, yeah.
fresh air. It's not quite as humid.
Oh, that would be a plus.
It is. It gets a little colder in the winter, but
Yeah, but it would be a dry heat.
yes, it is.
Or a dry
A
cool.
dry, right. Yeah, it's completely way different. Yeah, the humidity here is something that takes a while to get used to.
These buggy wheels, is that something everybody makes on their own? Or is there one guy, you know, one family? Yeah, you need wheels, well, Little West is getting multiple times. To the call the small factory, you need both wheels. And I think this is Pennsylvania, you need some too. And there's quite a few different techniques for focus. Of course, you buy the wheels, right? Some other parts and so forth. Like the focus we're using today, we're building just a couple miles. Man, the sun said it build the focus, then repair them. Come on. I'm getting tired. Oh, it's not that good. I'm tired. What's your occupation?
I'm a carpenter.
Carpenter? Yeah. Building homes?
Remodeling. I used to build homes, but I do a lot of floors and remodel houses now because they don't build many anymore. I used to know a friend of mine. We used to insulate a lot of Amish houses out by Middlefield.
Yeah, Yoder County.
Yeah.
I was there with him.
On the Amish houses. There's quite a few houses. Yeah.
Garrettsburg. Garrettsville.
So is you are you a carpenter too?
No, I used to work with him doing the insulation.
He did it with me though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was in between. My profession is I work on computers for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But for a stretch there was no work for me, and I got a job with the guy that he was working with for about 6 to 7 months. Learned that it's not for me. I'm the least handy person ever. I couldn't even cut a straight line.
Good with computers, though.
I am.
I don't know how you do on a farm.
I wouldn't last long.
No, you wouldn't. No, totally
I'd
wouldn't.
have to handle the farm's website.
That one was, yeah, a little much.
If somebody wants that high school diploma, they take a GED test. Do you have pink tickets?
Do we have pink tickets? Yes? No? Maybe? We do? Okay. We do.
Have a seat. And I'm going to go on just from where I was.
That's fine. No,
And then, if you want to know more, then you're going to have to stay later and I'll say. Yes, the classes are from grade 1 to grade 8. Nobody goes to high school. If somebody wants a high school education, they take that GED test. And if they pass that, then they have the equivalent of high school. Now the teacher, now the Amish children also go to public school. The Amish church does not tell them, in this area, it does not tell the parents where they have to send their children. That is absolutely up to them. Out at Chestnut Ridge, that's between Berlin and Walnut Creek, is a school where it's a big brick school, and all the students are, I understand, are all Amish, but it's a public school. So they go, and then if they go to a public school, they have to go the same as many days as the public school does. The Amish school has, they have 160 days for their school term, and they try not to have a lot of celebrate the holidays. They sort of go right on, and so they like to have their children home in the spring to help with the work on the farm. And each school has a 3-member school board, and they have to send in an attendance record to the state. Now, the parents have to pay a tuition. So if you have your children in an Amish school, you pay a tuition, but you also pay taxes. Where if you send them to public school, you just have to pay the taxes. Now, let's see. Now this has been done for quite some time, is having school like this, and so far, you know, when your children, when they graduate, they go out in the world, usually they're at home. They're around 13 years old then, and usually they're at home for a couple of years yet, and then they get jobs. And then they're tested. Do they know how to subtract and add and read and so forth? But for the most part, actually, I don't know of anybody who wasn't able to hold a job. They have that work ethic instilled into them. You know, if you don't have electricity in some of the modern conveniences, there's more work for your children to do. Like at home, we had this stove, which was a cook stove. And us, the 3 little ones, and I was one of them, we had to carry wood every evening, and carry coal, and empty the ashes. But looking back now, I see how good that was for us. It taught us responsibility. And we did it, we didn't wait to be told to do it, we just did it every evening. Then later, as we grew up, we had more work. Finally, we were in the barn milking cows, and tending the chickens, and doing the eggs, and things like that. So, for the most part, there's work. There's more work for your Amish children because they don't have all the conveniences. Okay, are there any questions?
Do they use electricity in their schools?
No. Right at this here, right up here we have a copier and there's a battery connected with that. But they do not use electricity in their schools. No.
They all follow the same curriculum?
You know, I'm not positive quite about that. But here we have some of the books that are being used, and if you want to look at them, you're free to do so. So, I never went to a school like that myself, so I'm a little bit. I did go to several schools and just sit in and listen to what the teacher was teaching. But you know, you learn a little bit, but you don't learn everything. So, okay. Any other questions? But I think the proving part comes is if they go out in the world, if they're good workers, or if they know how to work. And for the most part, I would say they are. There's lots of carpenter gangs and people who do roofs and people who do make furniture and lots of different things that your Amish people do. There just are not enough farms anymore for everybody to have a farm. Too many people. Okay, that's kind of what I have to give, unless you have questions.
Do basic questions.
didn't go to these schools myself, so some of these things I just simply don't know. But I love schools. Oh, I wanted to go to high school so bad. I wasn't allowed to.
So this is the one, this is the bell that you ring and it's
I should ring that every time we have a group in here, but I don't get it done. Go ahead and ring it.
heavy.
If it would be a real school, then you would ring it. Folks, just have a, yes, you're welcome. Just have a seat. Where are you folks from?
Do you need our ticket?
Yes, I do.
We're from Wellington. She's from Scotland.
To live by, oh my goodness.
She's over here visiting, so
You have people from
school.
Australia,
No, you sure don't.
Scotland, Brazil. Wow, I'm sure we're all. So you just find yourself seats. Did you have the house tour already? Yes. So were you told the history of the Amish people? Where did they come from?
Near Germany?
There's no way. No way.
Actually, we went to Switzerland once, and we found the house.
I guess they got a bank.
My forefather, Peter Beachy, my maiden name is Beachy, that my forefather, Peter Beachy, had lived in before he came
She
to
is.
America. And there was still a Beachy living in the house, and he was my ninth cousin. Oh, wow. We thought that was just so awesome to find a blood relative, even if it was quite distant, but to find a blood relative.